Hello, friends, and greetings for the day. Welcome back to another live session of our channel. I had some technical issues, and that's where my video was not visible. So I just created a new instance, and I hope all of you will be able to get this notification. And looking forward to all of you to quickly join us on this particular live session, and would like to quickly take care of your queries as a part of this live session again, and love to answer them when we connect here together. So, greetings and welcome to the another live session of our channel team, where we look forward to listen to your queries, listen to your concerns, and try responding to them as much as possible to give you the convenience of learning the concepts and understanding the best you can. Right. So make sure that you participate here and share your concerns and queries whatsoever you may have, and I would be more than happy to talk about it, help you understand those concepts, and give you the best understanding which would lead you to be building up a greater career ahead and look forward to understand that how testing can be conducted. Now, your questions can be related to certifications, can be related to the journey being a QA, or how to build your career ahead in QA, or what exactly are the concepts of testing related to manual testing, automation testing, tools related concepts. Just feel free to ask me anything related to testing, and I would be more than happy to respond to that. So go ahead and look forward to your queries, and I'll be talking about them one after the other. Meanwhile, just want to, before we get the very first query of the day, we'll be completing our sample paper discussion, which is currently ongoing series of our channel next week. So I'll be creating a poll on Monday for taking your opinions for our next series. And I would love to hear from all of you to kindly vote for your option, what you would like to see again. I'll be giving you different great options so that you can choose one from what will benefit you. So we always do that whenever we complete a series, and we will be looking forward to take your suggestions once again through the poll. So that will be available on our community page. You will be notified about it if you have clicked on that bell icon. So you will be able to vote for it and look forward to that as a part of our channel next. Okay, let me just quickly take up my very first quick query here. Praveen Kumar says, "Hi, how will I apply for ISTQB?" It's pretty simple, Praveen. If you are in India, the first thing what you can do is you have to go back to the ISTQB.in, and there you have to click on the foundation level certification and click on enrollment. That's how you go. Anyways, I'll be dropping you a video here which will tell you how exactly you can enroll for your certification. And give me just a second here. Let me get a shareable link. Yeah, here we are. So if you are talking about, because your query is not complete, if you are talking about foundation, you're talking about Indian testing board, you are in India, then this link will help you to do the registration and get all that what you need to do the registration. Right, Hamid. Very good evening, Hamid. I do remember you were just messaging on the other instance of our live session. Sorry, I have some technical issues, so could not take up your query there. So I was busy sorting that out. But good, you joined here. Thank you so much for joining, Hamid. Go ahead and let me know what your questions are, and I would be more than happy to answer that. Ramya says hi. Very good evening, Ramya. Praveen says, yes, I'm talking about foundation. Yes. So please go through this video, Praveen, and that would give you all your answers how to enroll for it. Okay, we have another one saying S, how many days or hours we need to prepare for Agile Tester certification. See, compared to ISTQB Foundation, Agile Software Tester is a very small certification or with limited syllabus. We just have 3 chapters, but of course, incredibly new things if you are new to Agile, right? So it depends on that, how much you really know already about Agile. If you're working with Agile, maybe 1 week, preparation would be more than enough. But again, that 1 week comes with a condition apply on that, right? How much time do you allocate in a week? Of course, I'm not talking about 24 hours. I'm not talking about 12 hours a day, not talking about 6 hours a day. I'm talking about if you can give 2 hours a day, then it will take 1 week of time if you already have some understanding of Agile. But if you're new, probably you may take another 1 more week extra, but 15 days is more than enough to prepare for the Agile certification. right? So that would be your decent timeline, depending on your past experience and what you really know about Agile in order to prepare. But over all that, what I just mentioned, I would say it all depends on your understanding skills. If you think you're going to take slightly longer, no problem. Take your own time, be comfortable, because we don't have a timeline to tell you that no, you should finish it in 4 days. If you're not finishing in 4 days, you're not up to the mark. No, no such constraints. Take your own time to prepare. As you asked me, what is the decent timeline? This is what I had the answer for. But again, take your own time at your own comfort, because this is your examination. And until and unless you are confident, you cannot take up the examination, right? So take your own time and hit the examination with all the confidence. So all the very best, S, whatever your name is. But yes, all the best. Okay, we have Sai coming in here. Sai says, "Hi, sir. Where can I attend the mock test? Please provide a link." You will find the mock test officially on the ISTQB page, istqb.org. Let me tell you, as you have asked me for the link, let me also drop that quickly. Where we are here. So, certifications, you need to go to foundation level, and then you click on this particular link. Okay, click on this link, scroll to the bottommost part. You'll have three mock papers, set A, set B, set C, and you can take each one of them one after the other. Once you're done with each one of them, you have a separate PDF to answer those questions or with the answers on that, so you can verify yourself how much you got, how much, which areas you need improvement on, and what questions went wrong, etc. And all that can be answered. Sure. Okay, Ramya says how many days before we need to apply for the foundation level? See, currently the examinations are happening quite frequently, like 3 days will be a timeline, or 4 days will be a timeline where you will be notified. So, say for example, if I'm registering today, I'll be given an automated date. Okay, you will have a provision to select your own date, but still you will be given an automated slot that after 4 days your examination is scheduled. So, only schedule your examination or book your appointments when you are ready with the syllabus and content. Then, if you think on that date what the board has given you, you are busy with something else, probably you have work and you cannot do that, right? You all have to do is reply back to the same email saying that I'm only available on these date. Can you reschedule it, right? Because if it is system generated, then they have all the provision to update your date, right? If in case you are having the provision to select your date, then no questions, right? So you can at least do it in the advance, like a week advance. You can do that. Okay. Earlier it used to happen offline examination. You need to apply 20 days in advance, etc. But now it is online. So 3 days is minimum. If you want to write examination after 3 days, you can apply today. That's how it goes. But if you just see that you don't have the provision to select a date for some reason, then the system will generate a date for you. And if you are not available on that date, you can always ask to get it rescheduled without any cost. If it is system generated. Okay. If you select and you want to reschedule, there will be charges for it. Right. Sure, Ramya. Thank you. Sai also says for foundation level mock test in ISTQB, where can I attend? So I think I have answered that question, Sai. Hope that makes sense to you there. Yes, great. Tahir is back here. He says, for which certification are you planning to do the pool for next question sets? Are there some specialist certification like MPT, AUT, or will you go for general like TTA, Agile? See, again, I'm not someone who decides what will be my next set of playlist. I always ask my audience. So I'll put a poll where you can vote for your option, or you can suggest your option. The maximum number of votes the option gets, I pick up that next, because that's what my audience wants to see next in the playlist. So Tahir, you will have your own freedom to vote for your option, and based on that we'll go. But yes, that will be one of the options. So we will be keeping some sample questions on different items, and we will talk about it. So you can just vote for the same thing. But again, you know that, right? This is Tahir. Then there is someone XYZ, ABC. There are multi people who have different expectation from me. So we always go by the maximum number of votes. So where we have the poll, and then we take up or decide what exactly will be our next set of tutorials. I hope that works fine. Okay, S says already no and worked in Agile. Any mock test links are there? No. Nobody can mock it. That's the reason you don't have a mock link. You will only have one sample paper available on official website of ISTQB, and that's only the source. See, this is where I keep telling my audience that foundation has been easy for anyone because it's a fundamental level of testing. People can create fake questions, people can create dummy questions on that. And the same set of question is rotating on every website. I'm not sure how many of you have been there, but if you quickly compare multiple websites where these portals are saying that we have mock papers, 500 questions, 1000 dumps, they're all the same on every website. Same mistake, same wrong answer, and same out of the syllabus. The reason I don't recommend anything because I have seen in past people have ruined their confidence after learning everything just because of these stupid question papers. So I generally suggest please stick to the official three papers. If you can do the three papers and you are getting your answers right, you don't need anything else. Trust me. But if you're not getting in three papers, you just need to go back to syllabus. You don't need more papers because if the three papers are going wrong, you need really go back to your confidence building part. You don't have that understanding of the concepts which you need. So answer is straightforward and very clear that you have not been through the content. That's where you are going wrong. You don't need 100 mock papers to prove your confidence. And first of all, ISTQB never releases any of their paper. So whatever you find online other than ISTQB official website is all created by people like me and you. And some people in me and you are not even knowing what is the full form of ISTQB. And they're just hosting it. Copy paste, right? It works. And they're just minting money from that blog spot, getting the hits, etc. Because they know a lot of people keep looking for it. So trust me, if you believe me, just rely on these three mock paper for foundation. But this is what my conclusion was. When it comes to advanced level, the questions are scenario based. And people find it really, really difficult to imitate a scenario based paper. So nobody creates a mock paper for that. So why don't we find a portal where they say, I have 500 dumps for test manager. I have 500 questions for test analyst. Show me one website which says that. Why? You have foundation 500 questions. Why don't you create for test analyst also or test manager? Because ISTQB never released anything. So you cannot imitate that scenario or create your own scenarios. It's difficult to create and meet the syllabus criteria. So this is where you get to understand that no boss, I should restrict my learning to the official syllabus based sample papers only. So advanced level will not have anything beyond one paper, even if you go online and search for it. So after that, I'm there. Okay. So you may be saying that, okay, that's the problem, right? What's the solution? Solution is you have one paper for all other examination in ISTQB. Go through that. Second is me. Let me know if you get stuck at any point. If you think you need help on that, if you think you are stuck with any concept and you don't know the understanding, this is the place. Come to this live session, ask me your question, drop me that sample paper or examination reference, question number reference. I'll read that question paper from here and answer your query. That why that question is correct or why this option is correct, and many other things, right? So feel free to do that. I'm always here every Saturday, 1 hour. I listen to your queries and respond to them. And that query can be anything. You can just pick up a sample paper and tell me that, Neeraj, I was going through this official paper and I didn't understand this question, how the option is C, right? But yeah, no outside things. That could be very wrong also. So I strongly recommend please don't go outside. Okay, so yeah, S, whosoever you are, that answers your question. Amit says, I have covered almost entire syllabus of ISTQB foundation level through your videos. Thank you so much for that, Amit. What strategy should I adopt now to remember the basic concepts and recall them at the time of exam? Close the book. That's the strategy. Okay. Close the YouTube channel, whatever you referred on my channel, the content, close all that. Take white sheet of paper, take a pen and start writing topic wise that this is what I learned in chapter 1. So write on top chapter 1 and say, okay, I started with what is testing. In what is testing, I learned objectives of testing. What are objectives of testing? Okay, finding defects, gaining confidence, providing information, and preventing defects. Okay, anything else? Yes, meeting the requirements, reducing the level of risk, etc., etc. Fine, that you don't have to write. You just have to tell yourself. Then next, you jump into the next topic. What is testing and debugging? What is quality assurance and quality control? How it is different? Do I know the difference? If you don't know, go back to that tutorial only. Don't go back to the entire playlist. Go to that particular tutorial. That's the reason I've created in separate tutorials. That if you want, you just jump to that. Okay, fine, did it. Clear. Next. Similarly, go for every single topic and put that on white sheet of paper. That's how you make your brain sharp. Because you're making your brain work, not read. Okay, that will help you at this point, Hamid, when you are done preparing yourself and then you want to check, do you really remember everything? Because if you are able to put that on the white sheet of paper, then you will be able to put that in the examination as well. Wherever you get stuck, you know your weak point. Go back to that tutorial and prepare for it. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, a lot of thank yous coming in here. Sai says thank you. Ramya says thank you. Praveen says correct. Ramya Prasad's good. Shiba is here. Hi, sir. I'm also interested. Interested in what? Tell me your question, Shiba. If you have any query, just let me know. If it is just the interest in the foundation level or which certification, so that I can help you. So I say, sir, how can we manage time? Because while I'm reading questions, I couldn't understand, and I read that twice carefully, then only I can understand. So how can I answer 40 questions within 60 minutes, sir? So see, there's a very good thing to understand here, that why don't you have the attention, right? That concentration while you're reading the question at once. Something is lacking there, right? We have to admit it. So when you see me doing those sample question tutorials, how do I read it? I don't read the entire question. I pause. Okay, this is what the scenario is saying. So you have a classroom of 30 students. Okay, 30 students. I don't continue reading. I hold on there. Okay, first value I got. The scenario says that these 30 students have written an examination where the scoring system is between 41 marks to 40 marks. Okay, I got my first range. 1 marks to 40. Nothing is below 1. Anything below 40, above 40 is not possible. So, that concentration and evaluation is what you need in the first step itself. So you don't have to read the entire question once in a flow and then say, what all things I have to recall? Then you read again, right? This is what happens generally. Now you can figure out what your problem is on that particular sense, right? You don't have to be, nervous at all. What I'm saying. The more you know the content, the more you know how to be peaceful. Okay, relax. You know the content, you know the syllabus, no big deal. It's just that you have to read it carefully, right? Just have that patience, just have that concentration and attention that for the next 60 minutes, you don't have any other commitments except this examination, right? Take that, take us a mock paper and try that. And read the question in such a way that while reading itself, you derive all your data, what you need, right? But what is the objective of testing? Do you read this question 2 times? Answer will be no, I'm sure. When a one line question appears, do you read the question 2 times? No. Why? Because that's a short instance. That's a very short example, short question. Why do you read a long question 2 times? Because you just read that in one go. So pause there, take out the information from that line, then go to the next one. So please follow that pattern which I use. Why do I do sample questions? Why did I do an entire series on set A, B, C, 120 questions? The reason is to tell you how to read the question, how to get the tips and tricks, and how to come to the conclusion without reading the question second time. So I've given you all that. Please watch that playlist. That will give you a lot of confidence, and help you to achieve your goals. Okay, watch that playlist of sample questions. I have given a lot of tips and tricks in different examples of questions. Please go through that. And all the very best. Let me know if you still have any queries, okay? That's not something which I'm concluding at. If you still think, no, this is what my concern is, this is what my problem is, please put it across. Hamid says, thank you so much, Neil sir. Can you please throw some light on the version control system? I could not understand this term. So a version control system is the history of revision on any entity. When I revise anything, right? When I recreate it, when I make changes to something which is already existing, I create a version of it. Why would I do that? The most important thing. Number one thing, that it's a official documentation. Like, say for example, test cases. I created 20 test cases. I executed them. For some reason, it passed. But later, another tester joined the organization, maybe my senior, and he said, "Can I review your test cases?" You said all of them, 20 test cases passed. Let me have a look on that. As a KT, let me understand what you people are testing. Good. I was going through your test cases and I realized that your test cases were missing some scenarios or the steps were not appropriate to find the defect. So I suggested you that can you add these steps or these type of test cases in your test suite? So what you did, that existing 20 test cases, five of the test cases you modified slightly, modified, not written new one. You modified it, correct? Now that modification you just created in Excel, modified this and clicked on save. Now if somebody wants, okay, somebody wants to see your previous 20 test cases, will you be able to show that? No. Why? Because you overwritten it. You edited and saved, edited and saved. Now, if somebody wants to compare that what Neeraj contributed on Hamid's approach, we cannot do that comparison. Simple, right? So this is where I would say, as a test manager, that Hamid, though Neeraj is recommending some suggestions to you, do that, but don't overwrite on the same file. Put it as V1.0 and V1.1, version 1.0, 1.1, so that if anytime I ask you that what changes have happened, then you can show me those two files and I can compare and see what changes have you made. Why would I do that? For coverage measurement. Has it improved the coverage? Has it resulted into a different failure? Has it resulted into finding a defect? Then I would see what changes did you do between these two files so that it resulted into a finding of good defect. Correct? So versioning is very important for keeping a track of change, keeping the history of revision, and doing the traceability, change management, that what changes have happened. If I overwrite, nobody will come to know what you changed, where you changed, if I don't create a version. So many things are there which are reliable on version control. So controlling that history of revision is what you call it as version control. And that can be done with help of tool. In ISTQB, we call it as configuration management. Okay, version control itself is called as configuration management. I hope that gives you the answer what you're looking for. If you still have anything, just let me know. Sai says, thank you so much, sir. Sure, I'll watch. And Bhuvna is here. Hello, sir. Hello, Bhuvna. Can you please provide link for Agile extension book? I want to purchase or syllabus and your videos alone fine. Please clarify. Uh, I'm not sure if you really have a good book for Agile Tester extension in the market. In fact, there are books. I'm not saying there are no books. Let me just quickly check. What do we have in the market currently? So this is ISTQB Agile Tester in books. No, sorry to say, but you don't have any referable book as such, which I can recommend you right now. There's only one book which I personally bought to review before I comment to people. That is, what do you call it? That title as, let me just read out for you. It's called as Agile Testing, ISTQB Agile Tester Extension Certification, written by Chavi Raj Dosaj. Okay, Chavi Raj. And this book is with me because I always buy the books to see if I can recommend something to people. So I literally did not find that up to the mark beyond the syllabus. So if you are going through the syllabus and my tutorials, that's the same thing what you'll find in the book, nothing extra. Syllabus is exactly the same there. Okay, he pretty much he has put effort. I'm not saying that book is very bad or something. He has put something effort, but you won't get anything beyond what you can get from the tutorials. Still, if you want to go, it's not an expensive book. Okay, it's not an expensive book. It's hardly 350 bucks. Okay, 350 rupees, Indian rupees. So you can buy it, not a big problem. You can 350 rupees is nothing. You can always invest that to pass a 5,000 rupees exam. Correct. So you can always buy it, but trust me, I have that book with me because I always buy books before recommending. I go through them myself and then strongly suggest. So if you tell me for ISTQB Foundation, before I recommend my book, I would recommend Rex Black. I would recommend Dorothy Graham. Why? Because I know that book has more detailed information than my book. Then what about my book? My book has crisp information because Dorothy Graham has detailed it too beyond the syllabus. Okay, it's a very lengthy book. But yes, for a fresher, it's the best book. Not my book is best for the fresher. But if you are already in testing and you don't want to waste a lot of your time, quickly, crisp knowledge to pass the examination, then my book is better than Dorothy Graham. Okay, because I don't talk it about a very extensive manner, to the point information, so that you can just orient your mind and write the examination. Okay, so Bhovna, I do not have anything specific. Go through the syllabus, go through the videos, and that would be two things what you would need, plus one sample paper which is available online. Solve that, get to the understanding what would you need, what areas you need improvement on, and you are good to go. That's not so difficult, trust me. If these three things are done, you are good to get certified. All the best. Hamid says, thank you for clearing my confusion. You're always welcome, Hamid. Geeta says, hello. Test conditions are referred as prerequisites for test cases. No. Test conditions are test scenarios, Geeta. Okay. So when you have a requirement given to you, from the requirements, when you derive your scenarios, like a user can do this, a user can do that, that's test condition. And now each test condition slash test scenario should be broken down into test cases, which includes your steps, precondition, test data, expected result, etc. Okay, so test condition is equal to test scenario. It's not prerequisite. Prerequisite is in test cases, and test cases is a child object of test scenario or test condition. Okay, I have confusion between test basis and test condition. Test basis is the parent document which you're referring to derive your test cases. Very simple example. Okay, somebody gave me SRS, system requirement specification, or somebody gave me user story, development user story. I go through that, understand the scenario, understand the requirement, like what a developer, what a user want to do there, right? And then I start writing my test cases. So test cases are my, or say for example, test condition. You are referring to test condition. So I derived a scenario. So I have a requirement, SRS. From that document, I'm deriving my test cases. Now, SRS becomes test basis. SRS becomes test basis, and test condition is my scenario, which I'm going to do. Now, that's for the system testing. Similarly, for integration, HLD becomes my test basis because I derive my test cases from design, high level design. Similarly, for unit testing, I use low level design. So, low level design becomes my test basis. What is test basis? Basis for testing. Okay. From where did you derive your test cases? That answer is called as test basis. If you have written 20 test cases and I ask you, Geeta, where did you come up with these test cases? What did you refer? You said, I went through the design document and from there I got these 6 test cases. That's it. That's your answer. Okay. So test basis is what you refer to derive your test scenarios or test cases. I hope that makes it pretty much clear. If yes, don't forget to drop a thumbs up. Dinesh Tiwari, sir, does version control or change apply for regression testing? Of course, principle number 5, pesticide paradox. Do not keep iterating the same set of activities which may not result in yielding good defects. So, your regression test is something which people don't change from time to time. And they keep it fixed for 10 years, 15 years, etc. But is your product the same for 15 years? No. A lot of things have improved, a lot of things have changed. So why not your regression test suite? So everything, including regression testing, is going to be modified at times. And that modification invites version control. I hope that gives you a very straightforward answer, Dinesh. If you have anything else, let me know. Hey there. Hello, sir. I'm electrical engineer by profession. Welcome. And I want to start my career as software tester, manual or automated. Can you please guide me with a pathway after foundation level? Okay. After foundation level, that means you say you are certified. If not, you're planning to get certified. Fine. Let's consider that you're done with your foundation level certification. You have got your prerequisite fulfilled to jump into the world of software testing. Okay. Any organization would see what knowledge do you possess about software testing. Like being a QA, do you really know what is the testing word? What is the concept of testing, right? And the ISTQB Foundation very well caters that. So anyone going through the foundation certification has fulfilled all that information, what that person really needs to be called as a QA, to start the career at least, right? So manual tester. You can jump into any industry to start your career as a manual tester and then look forward to improvise yourself on automation side and build up your career as an automation tester. Now, the point number two, what if I don't want to seek a very crunchy market on the manual testing? There's a big, call out for automation testers. How can I start after foundation level? Okay, great. So you don't want to go and start your career or keep hunting for your job with manual profile. Then start with Selenium. Why Selenium? Because the world is talking about it. No. Selenium is something which is widely used in the industry. That's why the world is talking about it. So, what that would do? Of course, number one, you are going to learn a tool which at least 70% of the companies in the world is using. So, you know what market you have covered for your profile, right? So, 70% organization across the world is one or the other way using Selenium. If you know Selenium, at least the basics, you can say, I've not automated a project, but I know what is Selenium. Please ask me some questions. He would say, what is locators? What is implicit wait? What is explicit wait? How do you write a method? How do you differentiate between a method and class? What is encapsulation there? How do you do polymorphism in a Selenium script? If you can answer these questions, this is what an automation tester needs to know. All right, and I can very well hire you if you know all the answers for this. So start with Selenium. The reason is it is an open source. Second, it is available to anyone. You don't have to break your head to get the licenses, etc. It's open source. Third, most of the organizations are using Selenium. So you have wide open range of vacancies which can pull you immediately saying that, hey, you know Selenium? Yes. Okay, fine. Come in. I'll spend some time with you to upgrade you, groom you, but you can start with automation. So that's the pathway. Heather, if you think you need anything else, just let me know. Kaiser, Imtiaz, sir, any suggestion if I'm appearing next week in CDFL exam? I'm not sure if you joined slightly late, but I was trying to tell one of the approaches to somebody here in the beginning of the call, and that suggestion was you just have to close all your references now. If you're appearing next week, it's time for you to ask your brain, how much do you remember? So take a piece of paper, take a pen, and write on the top of it, chapter one. Okay, chapter one, and start penning down the topics which you could remember. In fact, including the bulleted points. For example, when it comes to test process, what are the phases of test process? Test planning, monitoring and control, test analysis, test design, blah, blah, blah. Then pick up test planning. What are the activities do you remember? Just roughly write it. Okay, we do defining the goals, objectives, this, that, and assigning the roles, detecting on the automation, defining the plan, entry criteria, exit criteria. Okay, I know this. Did I miss out anything? No, I'm confident. Let's move to monitoring and control. What is a matrix? What is monitoring? What is control? What is test analysis? So you just keep penning that down, right? And that's where you get that, where did you get stuck, right? You come to testing and debugging and you say, what was testing and debugging? You know where you are weak. Go back to exactly that particular section of your reference, be it syllabus or my tutorial, and get it clarified. Then again, pen it down there. Don't say, okay, fine, it is done. No, pen it down. What's the key difference between testing and debugging? Testing deals with only finding the defects, whereas debugging deals with analyzing the issue, getting to the root cause, and fixing the issue. Right? That's the key difference between testing and debugging. So that tells your mind that now I'm not reading anything. I'm asking you to tell me back what all you have stored in the hard disk. So that if that's the same situation, right? In the examination, somebody is asking you the questions and you're asking your mind to recall that. So you're building your power to recall what you have learned from the tutorials, right? So this is what you need to do till you write your exam, or maybe at least one day before the exam, finish all these things. The last day before the exam, I want you to just relax, do nothing. Don't ask your mind what you know, what you don't know. One day before that, just relax. You don't have to do anything. And next day, you go and write your examination. Trust me, your mind has not forgotten till date that which movie you watched the first in your life. Okay? So your brain is pretty strong. Human minds are strong to remember, which we want them to remember. Okay? I hope that's clear and all the very best. Imtiaz, do let me know if you need anything else. Ahmed says, what is the testware and test suite in simple words? Ahmed, testware is anything which you prepare or use for testing. So your test cases, your test environment, your test data, everything is included in the testware category. Now, what is test suite? Test suite is collection of test cases put together. So if I have 10 test cases, but I want to run these 10 test cases in one go, okay, one go, that means at a time, I put them in one file and call it as test suite. Okay, so for example, today is Sunday, say Saturday. I plan to do 10 activities. I'm going out to market and I know all these things is what I have to do in the market. So that when I come back home, I'm done for that, all work that side. Right? That's what you call it as a test suite. 10 different tasks done at one place at a time is called as test suite. So collection of test cases is test suite. Whatever artifacts, whatever items you use for testing is called as testware. Okay, hope that makes sense. Okay, thank you, Geeta. Thank you, Shiba. Shiba, how can you apply? I'll just put that link again. I dropped a link in the beginning. I'll just pin it on the top. So I've just pinned it. Please go ahead and look into that, Shiba. I have a video on this to tell you how you can apply for the examination. Okay. All right. Then Sayed says, thank you. Tahir says, best teacher with best answers, massive respect. Thank you so much, Tahir. Kind of, working as a fuel for me to keep myself ignited all the time, to keep you all helping and boosted up with all that information, what you would need. And I don't lose anything. This is my passion. I love teaching. I love talking to people and giving them the right justification with great examples. That's why I have good examples handy with me, right? Because I'm a professional instructor. I don't do it as a time pass or something. I know what people would expect and what they actually need, right? So we have those collection of examples in our mind and we can immediately jump into multiple topics here and there. So thank you so much, Tahir, for your wonderful comment there. Much needed, for keeping me inspired to keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Hamid says, many people get confused, like me as well. What is basic difference between quality assurance and quality control? By this line, QA supports QC. Please throw some light on this. Okay, sure. When it comes to QA, okay, in very simple terms, I have a line process of manufacturing or creating food products. Let's take noodles. Okay, I have a factory there, a manufacturing plant where I produce or say manufacture Maggi out of the flour and whatever it is. So I have a line process where one side I put flour and everything happens, and the noodles get packed up and we put it in the carton and ship it in the truck. That's it. So there is a team who says, this is a food grade product and we are some ISO standard certified, FSI certified, etc. So these are my set of protocols. Any person, be it employee or non-employee, entering into this premises must have a head cap, like a kind of shower cap, what you say. You will have gloves, you will have sanitized hands, you should have wearing a shoe cover, etc. etc. Okay, no external belongings to be brought along with you. All you should come with this empty handed, so that we don't want zero dust particle, or we don't want zero dust particle to be captured to that area. Okay, then make sure that the contents are measured precisely before you enter, like ingredients. So all these things will be defined. Why? To gain quality in the product. Okay. So who is defining this? QA. Quality assurance. QA team is someone or collection of people who tells that if you do these things, you will achieve quality. Quality control is a person or a set of members or a team who follows these instructions. So QA can define a process, but if QC does not follow, I say, oh, come on, who will sanitize hands? Leave it. We are already clean. No, that's where the quality is compromised. So in our industry, in a QA world or test organization, the managers, excuse me, the managers, the senior engineers, like senior testers, become our QA. Okay, because they contribute from overall plan, strategy, approach in order to achieve quality in the product. How will you test it? How much will you test it? When to start integration testing? When is the right time to involve performance testers? When is the right time to review the design? This is all QA. Then what is QC? Doing that. I told you that on 1st of January, design will be available. Let's go and review it. Did you do that? QA is defined, but QC, if you don't go there, we did not achieve the quality. So that's the major difference between QA and QC. QA defines the measures to achieve quality, QC implements those measures to achieve the quality. That's the reason. Now look at a deeper side of it. Why an engineer, a tester who is hired in the industry and given a reference as software QA or a QA engineer, even if he's a fresher, why do we call him as a QA? Because he can be a contributor. I don't expect only senior resources to come up with the ideas. Come on, 25-year-old guy, in the experience, not in the age, is too old for us to bring up something new. So we hire refreshers all the time to come up with those innovations, come up with those energetic mindsets that, what do you think? How should we do it? Then they say, why don't you change this thing and start looking at from this side? Being a user, I would do this. Being a user, I'll click on this button. Then the manager says, that's a good point. Make a note of it. Let's plan for it. Right? That's the reason I even call a fresher as a QA engineer in the software industry. Because you are not a QC. You can contribute to define the measures. But there are portfolios, for example, game testing. We call them QC testers. We never call them as QA because game testing has a well-defined process. You have nothing to contribute. Okay, you have nothing to contribute there. You just have to come down at 9 a.m., start playing the game till 6 p.m. and submit your reports. You don't have anything to contribute. So you are called as QC engineer there, not QA engineer. So that's the difference between a QA and QC. QA defines, determines the approach to achieve quality. QC performs those activities defined by QA. Now look at your statement. QA supports QC. I hope that makes sense now. Okay, Dinesh, I have basic knowledge on Java. So is Selenium with Java is good for any other programming language as per your suggestion? See, that's trending. I would say that's very much trending. Java, Selenium is pretty much common and anybody can do that easily. If you know Java, I won't suggest you to go with anything else. But if you really want to explore, If you really want to say, I already know Java, Neeraj, can I do something more on Selenium? Okay, learn Python, because there's the other half of it. So when I said 70% of industry is using Selenium, not all of them is using Selenium with Java. Selenium supports 6 languages, okay, including Java. So you have provision to learn Python, you have provision to learn C Sharp, you have provision to learn shell scripting, you have provision to learn Ruby, Perl, right? But Python will be the second recommendation, which I would say if you really want to explore beyond Java. But if I look at your question once again, that I have basic knowledge on Java, so is Selenium with Java good or any other programming language as per your suggestion, sir? Answer is, if you have basic knowledge on Java, upgrade it and just target on one module. Be a master of that. Don't be jack of all and king of none. Okay? King of one. Be a master of something which people cannot hold your hand on. So I would say strengthen your skills on Java and be the master of Selenium with Java. And there are organizations looking forward to it. Okay, thank you, Gimtiaz. Gita says testware and test object is same. No, testware is your cookware, and test object is what are you cooking. Okay, so test object is my component. Test object is my feature which I'm testing. Testware is what all things I need to test that object. I hope that makes clear. If not, let me know. Shiva says, thank you, sir. You're welcome. Dinesh says, can we say developers are for quality control and testers for QA? I hope you got your answer now. So that we cannot say developers are just like doing their job independently. Ami says, thank you so much, sir. You are so good at explaining difficult terms and topics in simple words. Stay blessed. Thank you so much for your blessings. It is much needed to keep growing. Wisdom. Wisdom is here. It says, what do I need to be an AI tester? Of course, learn AI. In order to test anything, Wisdom, okay? I'm not, that's your real name or something, but in anything, in terms of like today, being called as a tester is not a non-technical practice. Okay, it's not a non-technical practice any longer. People may say you that testing can be done by anyone. You don't need a technical skills. My point is, if you don't know what you are testing, how can you test it? Okay, if I give you something like Facebook, which you have never used, and say you, okay, Wisdom, go ahead, start creating the test cases, start writing the test cases, and test this and let me know how many defects are there. The first thing you will look at me and say, really? Can you tell me what is this product all about? How does it function? What are the UI aspects? What is the control flow? How can I use a jump from one module to another module? What did you do just now, Wisdom? You tried understanding the product. And without understanding the product, how can you test it? Right? That's the answer. All you need to do to become an AI tester is to gain the understanding of AI concepts and what is the world of AI all about? How does AI function? What is artificial intelligence? What is VR? What is augmented reality? What is virtual reality, etc., etc.? And then have all that details, what you really need to have as an AI developer. And then you say, now I know how to test it. Because today, in the world of agile, all are equal. Okay, all are equal. A QA can raise a question to developer. You know what, you missed a flow here. You know what, you missed a condition here. What about a user clicks on this? Then the answer is, oh, yeah, thank you so much for being here. This is what agile is. We do not hire people with no knowledge on the product which you are testing, the platform which you are testing, or at least the domain. If you go to BMW and say someone who has joined is from BCom, like commerce background, what are you doing in BMW, workstation? We need automotive engineers here, be it diploma, ITI, BTech, masters, PhD, but automotive domain makes sense, right? So, Wisdom, I hope you got your answer there. The approach to kick off and to become an AI tester. Good news is that you have AI tester certification in beta right now at ISTQB also. So down the line, you can look forward to get certified with ISTQB and say you are a certified AI tester. Okay, Shiba says, yesterday I visited the ISTQB site, but I don't get any updates on the exam date. You have to enroll. There are no exam dates any longer because we are not conducting offline examination any longer if you're talking about India. So you will have to enroll, and based on your enrollment, you will be triggered with a date. Okay, once you make the payment, that's where you'll get the chance to select your date. So please continue with that your process. Okay. Wisdom says, thank you. You're welcome, Wisdom. Just keep letting me know if you have any more questions. And team, do not forget to drop a thumbs up because we want the whole world to know that there is a best teacher as per you available to answer your queries. So at least I'm not talking about spreading my tutorials. That Google is anyways doing it. Thank you so much for making it the world's best tutorial today. All I would say is let people know that there is a live session where they can ask their queries. And let that be anyone, be your senior, be your junior, be your colleagues, be your friends, and especially this live session, because nobody else is doing this. As this is my initiative, very first platform where we are doing a live session only to answer your queries, not to talk about what I did last week or what's my plan for the weekend. Okay, I come here for an hour to talk to you, listen to your concerns, and respond to them. And I want more and more people to be a part of this so that their queries can be answered. None other platform in the world today is giving you a live session face to face, which is answering your queries on testing, especially. Nobody does that. So I want you to please let people know about this live session, especially so that they can at least come. Because this live session does not have a criteria that you should be a subscriber, you should be a member of this channel in order to ask questions. Anybody can just hop in, ask their questions, and get the answer. Okay, so just as a kind of cause, for that cause of making our QA community stronger, I'm doing this. So let people know. All right, Hamid says, can automation testing replace manual testing in the future? No. The answer? The answer is an automation testing tool is tested manually. Nothing. It cannot be replaced. That's significance of human intervention, human mindset, the way you think, and the way a robot does a task. How do you tell a robot what is automation? Robot, right? What is automatic washing machine? You program it. If you tell him to do 30 minutes job, it will do 30 minutes job. If you tell him 1 hour, it will do 1 hour. But the point is, who programmed it? Who gave him the instructions that what should be run now? What scenarios must be executed? It's you, right? So the manual scenarios are created and automated to save time. But an automation script will only do what you suggest, what you write. It will not do anything beyond. But a manual approach can always think from beyond the test cases. No matter the test case is to log in with valid inputs. I have to enter username, I have to enter password, I have to click on OK button. But while doing these 3 steps, if I observe a red blink on the right top corner, I will still report a defect. If I see a different behavior on the screen, that on click of OK, the color of the UI changes, I'll highlight that as a defect, which automation cannot do because you never thought about it. You never programmed it. But manual minds, manual testing can still do that. And don't forget, automation has prerequisites. Automation needs a stable environment and stable code. Until unless you have stable code, nothing can be done on automation. So till then, do you sit and watch to become the system stable and mature? No, you do manual testing. Yeah, but I'm not disagreeing to this point that manual testing will be reducing. Yes, because people will do more job in limited time, right? Multitasking. People will look forward to people who can save their overall cost of quality. So yes, the demand of automation tester will be more than a manual tester, for sure. but manual testing is not going to go out of market. I hope that is what my answer was. Okay, Guy says 100% right. Even I see manual testing jobs are more than automation tester. Still, there are platforms. Gupta, thank you for contributing there. There are platforms which still cannot be automated. And we are coming with those trendy things, cloud platforms, which are not so stable. They are very dynamic. And I'm sure how we do automation on that. We are still finding out ways. That's what the challenge is given to the automation tool companies that come up with a solution now. How to test this, how to test that, right? So this is where we have to think about it. Good. Amit says, thanks. I'll let people in my domain know about your very important Q&A session. Please keep it up. Thank you so much, Hamid. And at this point, we are just 5 minutes more to go from our live session. And also, I have covered all the questions. So just feel free if you got any more things to talk about, any more quick queries to discuss, drop them in the chat. I've got 5 more minutes to talk with you. Let me know if you have anything pending. But good, a great session. We have been talking a lot of things here, and this is what I want to achieve. That 1 hour, I shouldn't be sitting idle for even a second. I should have questions waiting for me so that I can talk about it. All right, Dinesh says, thank you so much for such a valuable session. Big thanks for giving us your valuable time. You're always welcome because this is what I do out of my passion. And I would love to, let people know about the concepts because the better you know about the testing, the better QA you will be. And all I need is just that small thanks, and that is enough for me. I don't need anything in return. But yes, I just want to see the QA community to be not ignored, not disrespected, and seen as a portfolio where people look forward to make their career in QA. It's just that, human mindset which says QA can be done by anyone. I said, come on, let's try this. Why don't you try this, write some test cases and show me? But I cannot do this to, 100,000 million people, correct? I cannot go to each one of them and ask them, can you write your test cases and let me see if you know testing? And we are not non-tech guys. We are technical guys. We know the product, we know the platform, we know the design, we know everything when we test it, right? So I want you to gain that respect. And this is where I'm initiating all these things to make you perfect so that you can fight in that meeting where you are sitting silently today. When you attend a conference, when you attend a review meeting, when you attend a design forum discussions, I don't want a QA to be idle. Contribute, ask them questions. And when will you do that? When you know what it is. That's how you gain respect. And I want you to gain that respect. Every one of you, like all QAs, so that people say QAs are more technical than developer. I want to make that statement one day for sure. I still have a long life to go with all your best wishes, but I'll certainly make that happen. Let's remember this point today that people will say that QAs is more technical job than a developer's job. And I want to make that happen. This is what my end goal for the lifetime is. Anyways, let me just pick up a few comments from here. Geeta says, thank you so much, sir. Vikas says, how to bring QA and test-driven mindset in organization? By defining the parameters of quality. If you understand or your organization can understand what's the significance of defining quality in the product. How will you, put your product as a face of the business in the market? What people will respond to it? If you can talk about that quality constraints, what challenges are you facing currently without having that testing as an important thing, then your organization will be test driven. Quality oriented is what I will say in simple terms, not test driven, quality oriented. Okay. So talk about all your flaws, all your loopholes, all your gaps where testing is lacking, and then that system will be oriented because. Okay. Tahi said today's session was one of the best session, a refresher course for the CDFL as well. Thank you so much. So they say, sir, your videos are enough to crack foundation level, or I need to refer other books. Videos will be enough. Trust me. There are thousands of people who have done it so that you can also do it. Okay, but yes, I'll strongly recommend, as usual, that do not ignore the official syllabus copy. With my tutorials, parallelly go through the official syllabus copy, which you find on ISTQB website. That would be more than enough to pass your certification. Okay, so all the very best, Swati. And Shiba says, sir, when is the next class? Next Saturday, 7 p.m. I'll be again back here and listen to your queries. Okay, at the same time, I hit the clock here. It's exactly 1 hour. We have been doing this live session and we completed the timeline for the day. Thank you, each and every one of you, for participating here, because this live session is not successful without your participation, without your questions, because we come here to answer your queries, right? So thank you so much, each one of you, to be a participant of this live session. And we look forward to have more and more queries, more and more discussions, more and more good talk, inspirational and a lot of motivational things about building up a QA mindset in future as well, right? So that's all from this particular live session, team. Should you have anything else, feel free to comment below. I'm always there to address your queries and answer them well. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring, keep understanding the context. Thanks for being a part of this live session, team, and happy learning. Take care, team. See you next week, Saturday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Stay safe. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.